Good morrow to you, fair ones.
Let us have an audience for a word or two.
Especially Mr. Jagdish Raja, a chief member of our audience today.
Fair sir, I prithee, do accept a token of our appreciation.
We must be going, cuz.
Wherefore wilt thou go?
Methinks yonder lies great treasures. Patience, come hither.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We present to you An Afternoon with William Shakespeare. Watch it as you like it.
As I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion bequeathed me by will. But for 1,000 crowns, and as thou sayest, charged my brother with his blessing to breed me well.
As soon as I come, I want someone
And there begins my sadness. For me, he keeps me rustically at home, or to speak more properly, keeps me here at home unkept. For call you that keeping for a gentleman of my birth, that differs not from the stalling of an ox. His horses are bred better, but I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth, for which his animals on his dunghills are as much bound to him as I. Besides this, nothing that he so plentifully gives me, something that nature gave me his countenance, seems to take from me. He lets me feed with his hinds, bars me from the place of a brother, and as much as in him lies my gentility and my education.
It's begun.
This is it, Adam, that grieves me. And the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny against this servitude. I can no longer endure it. Though yet, I know no wise remedy how to avoid it.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam, and thou shalt hear how he will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I am not taught to make anything.
What are you then, sir?
Mary, sir, I am helping you to mar that which God made, a poor unworthy brother of yours with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed and be not a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent to come to such penury?
Know you where you are, sir.
Oh, so very well. Here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
I better than him. I am before who knows me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in gentle condition of blood, you should so know me. The courtesy of nation allows you my better, in that you are the firstborn. But the same tradition takes not away my blood. Were there 20 other brothers betwixt us, I have as much of my father in me as you. Albeit, I confess, your coming before me is nearer to his reverence.
What, boy?
Come, elder brother. You're too young in this.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Rosalind the Boys. He was my father, and he's thrice civil that says such a father begot villains. Were thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat, till this other hand had pulled thy tongue for saying so. Thou hast railed on thyself.
Sweet masters, be patient. Your father's remembrance be at a call.
Let me go, I say!
I will not, till I please. You shall hear me. My father charged you with his will to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from all gentlemanlike qualities. The spirit of my father grows strong in me, and I can no longer endure it. Therefore give me the poor lottery my father left me by testament. With that, I will go by my own fortunes.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent. Well, sir, get you in. I shall not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will, I pray you. Leave me.
I will no longer further offend you. Then becomes it for my own good.
Get you with him, you old dog!
His old dog, my reward. Most truly, I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master. He would not have spoken such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me. I will physique your rankness, and yet give no 1,000 crowns neither.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good Monsieur Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
There's no news at the court, sir, but the old news. That is, the old duke is banished by his younger brother, the new duke. And 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh, no. She is at the court, and no less beloved of her uncle than his own daughter, and never 2 ladies loved as they do.
Where will the old duke live?
They say he's already in the forest of Ardan, and have many merry men with him. And there they live like the old Robin Hood of England.
What, you wrestle tomorrow before the new duke?
Marry do I, sir, and I came to acquaint you with a matter. I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come in disguised against me to try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit, and I came here to acquaint you withal, that either you might stay him from his intendment, or brook such disgrace well as he shall run into. In that, it is a thing of his own search, and altogether against my will.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find that I most kindly required. I had myself notice of my brother's purpose herein, and have by underhand means labored to dissuade him from it, but he is resolute. I tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France, full of ambition, an envious emulator of every man's good parts, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. And thou art best look to it, for if he shall mightily disgrace himself on thee, he shall practice against thee by poison, entrap thee by some treacherous device, and never leave thee till he had taken thy life by some indirect means or other. For I assure thee, and almost with tears I do speak it, there is not one so young and so villainous, this day living. I speak but brotherly of him. But should I anatomize him to thee as he is?
I'm heartily glad I came hither to you.
Farewell, good Charles. Now will I stir this gamester. I hope to see an end of him. For my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he's gentle, never schooled, and yet learned, full of noble device, of all sorts of enchantingly beloved, and indeed so much in the heart of the world, and especially of my own people who best know him, that I am altogether misprized. But oh, it shall not be so long. This wrestler shall clear all. Nothing would remain but that I kindle the boy thither, which now I'll go about.
What think you of falling in love?
Marry, I prithee do, to make sport withal. But love no man in good earnest, nor no further in sport, neither than with safety of a pure blush. Thou mayest in honor come off again.
Well, what shall be our sport then?
Let us sit and mock the good housewife, fortune from her wheel, that her gifts may henceforth be bestowed equally.
I would we could do so, for her benefits are mightily misplaced, and the bountiful blind woman doth most mistaken her gifts to women.
'Tis true. For those that she makes fair, she scarce makes honest, and those that she makes honest, she makes very ill-favoredly.
Nay, now thou goest from fortune's office to nature's. Fortune reigns in the gifts of the world, not in the lineaments of nature.
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honor, but I was bid to come for you.
Well learned you that oath, fool.
Of a certain knight that swore by his honor. They were good pancakes, and swore by his honor. The mustard was not. Now I'll stand to it. The pancakes were not. And the mustard was good, and yet was not the knight forsworn.
How prove you that in the great heap of your knowledge?
I marry, unmuzzle your wisdom.
Stand you both forth now. Stroke your chins, and swear by your beard that I am a knave.
By our beards, if we had them, thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that is not, you are not forsworn. No more was the knight swearing by his honor, for he never had any. Or if he ever had, he had sworn it away before ever he saw the pancakes or the mustard.
Prithee, who is that thou meanest?
One that old Frederick, your father.
My father's love is enough to honor him. Enough. Speak no more of him. You will be whipped for taxation one of these days.
The more pity that the fool may not speak wisely of what the wise men do foolishly.
By my troth, thou sayest true. For since the little wit that fools have was silenced, the little foolery that wise men have makes a great show. Here comes Mademoiselle La Femme,
With her mouth full of news.
which she will put on us like pigeons feed their young.
And then we shall be news
All the better, we shall be the more marketable. Bonjour, Mademoiselle La Femme. What's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? Of what color?
What color, madame? How shall I answer? As written fortune will.
Or as destiny's decree.
Well said. That was laid on with the trowel.
Nay, if I keep not my rank,
Thou losest thy old smell. You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of good wrestling, which you have lost the sight of. Tell us the manner of the wrestling. I will tell you the beginning, and if it please your ladyship, you may see the end, for the best is yet to do, and here where you are, they are coming to perform it.
Well, the beginning that is dead and buried.
There comes an old man, and his 3 sons.
I could match this beginning with an old tale.
3 proper young men, excellent growth and presence. With bills on their necks, be it known unto all men by these presents. The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which Charles in a moment threw him and broke 3 of his ribs. That there is little hope of life in him. So he served the second, and so the third. Yonder they lie, the poor old man, their father making such pitiful dole over them, that all the beholders take his part with weeping. Thus,
but what is the sport, mademoiselle, that the ladies have lost?
why this did I speak of?
Thus, men may grow wiser every day. It is the first time that I ever heard breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
But is there any else who longs to see this broken music by his side? Is there yet another who dotes upon this rib breaking? Shall we see this wrestling, cousin? You must, for this is the place appointed for the wrestling, and they are ready.
Yonder. Sure, they are coming. Let us now stay and see it.
Come on, since the youth will not be entreated. His own peril on his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, mademoiselle. Alas, he is too young. Yet he looks successfully.
How now, daughter and cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege, so please you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. There is such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak to him, ladies, see if you can move him.
Call him hither, mademoiselle La Femme.
Monsieur the challenger, the princesses call for you.
I attend them with all respect and duty.
Young sir, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess. He is the general challenger. I come but in as others do, to try with him the strength of my youth.
Young gentleman, your spirits are too bold for your years. You've seen cruel proof of this man's strength. We pray you, for your own sake, to give over this attempt.
Do, young sir. Your reputation shall therefore not be misprized. We'll make it as suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, wherein I confess to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial.
The little strength that I have, I would it were with you.
And mine to eke out hers.
Pray heaven I be deceived in you.
May your heart's desires be with you.
Come, where is his young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir, but his will hath in it a more modest working.
You shall try, but one fall.
No, I warrant your grace. You shall not entreat him to a second, that I've so mightily persuaded him from a first.
And you mean to mock me after? You should have not mocked me before, but come your ways.
Hercules be thy speed, young man.
I would I were invisible to catch the strong fellow by the leg.
right, young man.
If I had a thunderbolt in mine eye, I know who should be down.
No more! No more!
Yes, I beseech your grace. I am not yet well bred.
How dost thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Rowland de Boys.
I wouldst have told me of another father. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I did find him still mine enemy. Thou shouldst have better pleased me with this deed hadst thou descended from another house. But fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth. I wouldst have told me of another father.
Were I my father, cuz, would I do this?
I am more proud to be Sir Rowland's son, his youngest son, and would not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
My father loved Sir Rowland as his soul, and all the world was of my father's mind. Had I known this young man was his son, I should have given him tears and to entreaties ere he should thus have ventured.
Gentle cousin, let us go. Thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved, if you do keep your promises in love, but justly, as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Gentlemen, wear this for me. When out of suits with fortune, that could give more, but that these hands lack means. Shall we go, cuz?
Aye, fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Cannot say thank you.
He called us back. Did you call, sir? Sir, you've wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, guys?
Have with you. Fare you well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, yet she urged in conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown, or Charles or something. Weaker masters thee.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place, albeit you have deserved high commendation, true applause and love. Yet such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done. The Duke is humorous. What is indeed more suits you to conceive than I to speak of.
I thank you, mademoiselle, and pray you, tell me this, which of the two daughters was of the Duke that was here at the wrestling?
Neither his daughter, if we judge by manners, but yet indeed the lesser is his daughter. The other is daughter to the banished Duke, and here detained by our usurping uncle to keep his daughter company, whose loves are dearer than the natural bond of sisters. But I can tell you that of late, this Duke had taken displeasure against these gentleness, grounded upon no other argument but that the people praise her for her virtues, and pity her for her good father's sake. And on my life his malice against a lady will suddenly break forth. So, fare you well. Hereafter any better words than these, I shall desire more love and knowledge of you.
I rest much bounden to you. Fare you well. Thus must I, from the smoke into the smother, from the tyrant duke unto a tyrant brother. But, oh, heavenly Rosalind,
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if that thou beest found, so near our public court, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace. Let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me. If with myself I hold intelligence or have acquaintance with mine own desires, if that I do not dream or be not frantic, as I do trust I am not, then my dear uncle, never so much in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are as innocent as grace itself. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord. Or if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor. Then, good my liege, mistake me not so much to think that my poverty is treacherous.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else had she ranged along with her father.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. If she be traitor, why so am I? We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, eat together. And wheresoever we went like Juno's swans, still we went coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very silence, speak to the people and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Then open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of a cup.
You are a fool! You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time, upon mine honor, and in the greatness of my word, you die!
Oh, my poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I'll give thee mine. I charge thee, be not thou more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Prithee, be cheerful. Knowest thou not the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
No, he hath not.
No, hath not? Rosalind then lacks the love which teacheth thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No. Let my father seek another heir. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go, and what to bear with us. And I charge you, do not seek to take your griefs upon you and leave me out. For now, by this heaven at our sorrows pale, say what thou canst, I'll go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Ardan.
Alas, what danger that will be to us, maids as we are, to travel so far. Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in a poor and mean attire, with a kind of umber smudge my face, the like you do, and so shall we pass along and never stir assailants.
But were it not better, because I'm more than common tall, and it did suit me all points like a man, a gallant curtle-axe upon my thigh, and a boar spear in my hand, and in my heart lie there what a hidden woman's fear there will. But we'll have a swashing and a martial outside, as many other mannish cowards have, that do outface it with their semblances.
And what shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page, Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
And what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool from your father's coat? Would he not be a comfort to our travel?
He'll go the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let's away. Now we go in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Can it be possible that no man saw them? It cannot be. Some villains of my court are of consent and sufferance in this.
I cannot hear of any that did see her. Her ladies, the attendants of her chamber, saw her abed, and in the morning early they found the bed untreasured of their mistress. My lord, the Roynish clown at whom so oft your grace was wont to laugh, is also missing. Hesperia, the princess's gentlewoman, confesses that she secretly overheard your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the wrestler that did but lately foil the sinewy Charles. And she believes wherever they are, that youth is surely in their company.
Send to his brother. Fetch that gallant hither. I'll make him find him. Do this suddenly, and let not search and inquisition quail to bring again these foolish runaways.
Who's there?
What, my young master? What make you here? And why do people love you? And wherefore are you gentle, strong, and valiant? Why would you be so fond to overcome the bony prizer of the humorous duke? Know you not, master, to some kind of men their graces serve them but as enemies? No more do yours. Your virtues, gentle master, are sanctified and holy traitors to you. Oh, what a world is this, when what is comely envenoms him that bears it.
Why? What's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth, come not within these doors, within this roof. The enemy of your graces lives. Your brother hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. If he fail of that, he will have other means to cut you off. I overheard him and his practices. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it, Fear it, but do not enter it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What, wouldst thou have me go and beg my food? Or with a base and boisterous sword, and force a thievish living on the common road? I rather will subject me to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns, thrifty hire I saved under your father, which I did store to be my foster nurse, when service should in my old limbs lie lame, and unregarded age in corners thrown. Take that, and he that doth the ravens feed providently caters for the sparrow. Be comfort to my age. Here is the gold, and all this I give you. Let me be your servant. Though I look old, yet I am strong and lusty, for in my youth I never did apply hot and rebellious liquors in my blood, nor did with unbashful forehead woo the means of weakness and debility. Therefore my age is as a lusty winter, frosty but kindly. Let me go with you. I'll do the service of a younger man in all your business and necessities.
Oh, good old man, how well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world. When service sweat for duty, not for meed, thou art not for the fashion of these times, where none will sweat but for promotion, and having that, do choke their service, even with the having. It is not so with thee. But, poor old man, thou prunest the rotten tree that cannot so lie in the blossom yield, in lieu of all thy pains and husbandry. But come thy ways, we'll go along together, and ere thy youthful wages spent, we'll light upon some settled low content.
Master, go on, and I will follow thee to the last gasp with truth and loyalty. From 17 years till now, almost 80, here lived I, but now live here no more. At 17 years, many their fortunes seek, but at 80 it is too late a week. Yet fortune cannot recompense me better than to die well and not my master's debtor.
Where does love come from? Where does it disappear? Is it an enchantment, a mysterious fate? Behind the entrancement I see a man staring into the distance towards a beautiful day. Over and over, day after day, we see the light of illusion.
gone, you still?
Oh, Corin, that thou knewest how I do love her.
I partly guess, for I have loved ere now.
No, Corin, thou canst not guess, though in thy youth thou wast as true a lover as ever sighed upon a midnight pillow. But if thy love were ever like to mine, as sure did I think, never man loved so. How many actions, most ridiculous, hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
Oh, thou didst then ne'er love so heartily. If thou remembers not the slightest folly that ever love did make thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not sat, as I do right now, rearing thy hearer in thy mistress's praise, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company abruptly, as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe.
Hola, you clown.
Peaceful, he's not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
You're better, sir.
Else are they very wretched?
Peace, I say. Good even to you, friend.
Good even to you, gentle sir. And good even to you all.
I pray thee, shepherd, if that love of gold can in this desert place by entertainment bring us where we may rest ourselves, for here the young maid would travel much oppressed and faints for succor.
Fair sir, I pity her, and wish for her sake more than for my own. My fortunes were more able to leave her, but I'm a shepherd to another man, and do not share the fleeces that I graze. Besides, my master is of jealous disposition. His court, his flocks, and bounds of feed are now on sale.
I pray thee, if it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage, pasture, and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages.
Go with me, if you like, upon report. The soil, the profit, and this kind of life, I will, your very faithful feeder be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
Master, 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 I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Here lie I down and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind master.
Why, how now, Adam? No greater heart in thee? Comfort a little. Cheer thyself a little. If this uncouth forest yield anything savage here, I will either be food for it or bring it for food to thee. Thy conceit is nearer death than thy pause. For my sake, hold death awhile at the arm's end. I will hear with thee presently. And if I do not bring something to eat, I will give thee leave to die. And if thou diest before I come, thou art a mocker of my labor. But if there live anything in this desert, surely, good Adam,
What? You look merrily.
A fool! A fool! I met a fool in the forest. A mossy fool. As I truly buy food, I met a fool who laid him down and basked him in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms, in good set terms, and yet a motley fool.
What fool is this?
Oh, worthy fool, one that hath been a courtier and says, if ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift to know it. And in his brain, which is as dry as the remainder biscuit after a voyage, he hath strange places crammed with observation, the which he vents in mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool. I'm ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgments of all opinion that goes rank in them, that I am wise. I must have liberty withal, as large a charter as the wind, to blow on whom I please, for so fools have. Invest me in my motley, give me leave to speak my mind. I will true and true cleanse the foul body of the infected world, if they will patiently receive my medicine.
Fie on thee. I can tell what thou wouldst do.
What for a counter would I do but good?
Most mischievous, foul sin, in chiding sin, for thou thyself hast been a libertine, as sensual as the brutish thing itself, and all the embossed sores and headed evils that thou with license of thy free foot hast got, wouldst thou disgorge into the general world.
Forbear and eat no more!
Why? I have eaten none yet.
Nor shall not, till necessity be solved.
Of what kind should this cock come off?
Art thou thus boldened, man, by thy distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners, that in civility thou seemst so empty?
You touched my vein at first. The thorny point of bare distress had taken from me the show of smooth civility. Yet am I inland bred and know some nurture. But forbear! I say, anyone who touches those fruits shall die till I and my affairs are answered.
And you will not be answered with reason. I must die.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force. Move us to gentleness.
I almost die for food, and let me have it.
Sit down and feed with us, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently. Pardon me, I pray you. I thought all things had been savage here, and therefore put I on the countenance of stern commandment. Let my gentleness my strong enforcement be, in which I hope and blush and hide my sword. Sorry.
True is it that we have seen better days, and have with holy bell been all to church, and sat at good men's feasts, and wiped our eyes of drops that sacred pity hath engendered. So sit you down in gentleness, and take up on command what help we have, that to your wanting may be ministered.
There is an old poor man who hath many a weary step, limped in pure love, till he be first sufficed, oppressed with two weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit.
Go, find him out, and we will nothing waste till you return.
I thank ye, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest, we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theatre presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play in.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His acts being 7 ages, at first the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy, with a stature and a shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble's reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good cape and line, with eyes severe and beard of a formal cut, full of vice, souls, and modern instances. And so he plays his part. And the 6 to 8 shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved a world too wide for a shrunk shank. And his big, manly voice, turning again to a childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. And the last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste. Sans everything.
Welcome. Set down your venerable burden and let him feed.
I thank you most for him.
So very neat. I scarce can speak to thank you for myself.
Welcome. Fall to. I will not trouble you as yet to question you about your fortunes. Good old man, thou art right welcome as thy master is.
See him since. Sir, that cannot be. But were I not the better part, made mercy I should not seek in absent argument. Of my revenge thou present, but look to it, find out thy brother wheresoever he is, thy lands, and all things that thou dost call thine, worth seizure do we seize into our hands.
Oh, and that your highness knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
More willing thou. Well, push him out of doors!
Hang there I was, in witness of my love. Oh, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and their barks my thoughts are character, that every eye in the forest shall look and see thy virtue witnessed everywhere.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind, through all the world bears Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you so 8 years together. Dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted. It is the right butter women's rank to market.
Peace, you fool, I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Why should this a desert be? For it is unpeopled? No. Tongues I'll hang on every tree, twixt the soul of friends and friend, but upon the fairest boughs and at every sentence end will I... Rosalinda, right? Teaching all that read to know the quintessence of every sprite heaven would a little show, and I to live and die her slave. Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh yes, I heard them all.
But didst thou hear without wondering how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees?
I was 7 of the 9 days out of wonder before you came. For look what I found on a palm tree.
Trow you, who hath done this?
Is it a man?
And a chain that she once wore about his neck. Change you colour?
I prithee, who?
Oh, Lord, Lord, it is a hard matter for friends to me.
Nay, but who is it?
Is it possible?
Nay, I prithee now with most petitionary vehemence tell me who it is.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful. Wonderful and yet again wonderful. And after that, out of all whooping.
Good my complexion, dost thou think, though I'm caparison like a man, that I have doublet and hose in my disposition? 1 inch of delay more is a stout sea of discovery. I prithee tell me who it is.
So you may put a man in your belly.
Is he of God's making? What manner of man is he? Is his head worth a hat and his chin worth a beard?
Nay, but he hath a little beard.
Why, God will send more if the man will be thankful.
It is young Orlando that tripped up the wrestler's heels and your heart.
Nay. The devil take mocking. Speak, sad brow, and true maid.
In faith, cast is he.
Orlando.
Orlando.
Alas, the day. But what shall I do with my doublet and hose? What did he when thou sawest him? What said he? Wherein went he? How looked he? Did he ask of me? How did he part with thee? And when shall thou see him again? Answer me in one
You
word.
must borrow me Gargantua's mouth first. 'Tis a word too great for any mouth of this age's size.
But doth he know that I'm in this forest in a man's apparel? Looks he as freshly as he did the day he wrestled.
Give me audience, good madam.
Proceed.
There he lay, stretched along like a wounded knight.
Though it be a pity, to see such a sight, it well becomes the ground.
Cry, holla to thy tongue, I prithee, it covets unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous, he comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burden, thou bringest me out of tune.
Do you not know I'm a woman? When I think I must speak. Sweet, say on.
You bring me out. Soft, comes he not here?
'Tis he, slink by and note him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief have been myself alone.
And so had I. But yet, for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you mar no more of my verses with reading them favorably.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You're full of pretty answers. Have you not been acquainted with goldsmiths' wives and combed them outer rings?
Not so, but I answer you right painted cloth, from whence you have studied your questions.
You have nimble wit. I think it was made of Atalanta's heels. Will you sit down with me, and we two will rail against our mistress, the world, and all our misery?
I will shine no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault of you is to be in love.
It is a fault I will not change for your best virtue. I am weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is drowned in the brook. Look, Button, and you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure,
which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with thee. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, Monsieur Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and unto that habit play the knave with him.
Do you hear, Forester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is the clock?
You should ask me what time or day. There are no clocks in the forest.
By no means, sir. Time travels in diverse paces with diverse persons.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With this shepherdess, my sister.
And are you native of this place?
As the coney you see dwell where she is kindled.
Your accent is something finer than that could be purchased and so remove the dwelling.
I have been told so of many. But indeed, an old religious uncle of mine taught me how to speak. But there's a man that haunts the forest and abuses our young plants by carving Rosalind on their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all forsooth defying the name of Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaked. I pray you, tell me your remedy.
There are none of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me how to know a man in love, in which cage of rushes you sure are not prisoner.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not, a questionable spirit, which you have not, a blue eye unsunken, which you have not, a beard neglected, which you have not, but I pardon you for that, for your simply having an in-beard as a younger brother's revenue. Then, your hose should be ungartered, your bonnet unbanded, your shoes untied, your sleeves unbuttoned, and everything about you, demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man. You are rather point device in your accoutrement, seeming the lover of yourself than any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it? But in good sooth, are you he that hangs these verses on trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to thee, youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves the dark hours and a whip as madmen do. Yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Did you cure so any?
Oh yes, and one in this manner. He was to imagine me as his mistress, his love, and come every day to my court and woo me, in which time would I, being a moonish youth, grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, fantastical, proud, apish, shallow, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, for every passion something, and for no passion truly anything. And thus I cured him, and in this way shall I take upon your liver and wash it as clean as a sound sheep's heart, with not one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you if you would but call me Rosalind, and come every day to my court and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me, and I'll show it to you. And by the way, you shall tell me where in the forest do you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Will you go, sister?
come apace, good Audrey. I shall fetch up your goats, Audrey. And how, Audrey? Am I the man yet? Doth my simple features content you?
Oh, your features? Lord warrant us? Oh, what features?
I am here with thee and thy goats, as the most capricious poet, honest Ovid, was among the gods.
Oh, knowledge ill-inhabited. Worse than Joe in a thatched house.
When a man's verses cannot be understood, nor a man's good wit, it strikes a man more dead than a great reckoning in a small room. Truly, I wish the gods had made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it honest in deed and word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly. For the truest poetry is the most feigning, and lovers are given to poetry, and what they swear in poetry may be said as lovers they do feign.
Well, do you wish then that the gods had made me poetical?
I do truly. For thou swearest to me, thou art honest. Now if thou wert a poet, I might have some hope thou didst feign.
But would you not have me honest?
No, truly, unless thou wert hard favored. For honesty, comfort of beauty, is to have honey and sauce to sugar.
A material fool.
Well, I am not fair, and therefore I pray that the gods make me honest.
Truly, and to cast away honesty upon a foul slut, but to put good meat into an unclean dish.
I am not a slut, though I thank the gods that I am foul.
Well, praise be the gods for thy foulness. Sluttishness may come hereafter, but be it as it may be, I will marry thee. And to that end, I have been with Sir Oliver Martix, the vicar of the next village, who had promised to meet me in this place of the forest and to couple us.
I would fain see this meeting.
Well, the gods give us joy.
Amen. A man may, if he were of a fearful heart, stagger in this attempt. For here we have no temple, but the woods. No assembly, but haunt beasts. But what though? Courage. As haunts are odious, they are necessary. Here comes Sir Oliver. Sir Oliver Martix, you are well met. Will you dispatch us here under this tree? Or shall we go with you to your chapel?
Is there none here to give this woman?
I will not take her on gift of any man.
Truly, she must be given, or the marriage is not lawful.
Proceed, I'll give her.
Good evening, good master. What you called? I am very glad to see you, sir.
Will you be married, Motley?
Man hath his desires.
And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush like a beggar? Let me get you to church, and let a good priest tell you what marriage is.
I am better to be married of him than of another, for he is not like to marry me well, and not being well married will be a good excuse to hereafter leave my wife.
Go thou with me. Let me counsel thee.
Come, sweet Audrey. We must be married, or we must live in bawdry. Farewell, good Master Oliver.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe, say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the axe upon the humble neck, but first begs pardon. Will you sterner be than he that dies and lives by bloody drops?
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tells me there is murder in mine eye. 'Tis pretty swear, and very probable, that eyes that are the vilest and softest things, who shut their coward gates and atomies, should be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. Now I do fawn on thee with all my heart, and if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Now come to fate to swoon, why not fall down? Or if thou canst not, oh, for
for shame, lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. And now show the wound mine eye hath made on thee. Scratch thee, but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. Lean, but upon a rush, the cicatrice, uncapable in pressure, thy palm some moment keeps. But now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not, nor, I am sure, there is no force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh dear Phoebe, if ever as that ever may be near, you mate in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then will you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time, come not thou near me, and when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks. Pity me not, as till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult, exult, and all at once over the wretched? What though you have no beauty? Must you therefore be proud and pitiless? Why look you so upon me? I think she means to tangle my eyes too. 'Tis not your inky brows, your black silk hair, your bugle eyeballs, nor your cheek of cream that can entertain my spirits to your worship. Know yourself, mistress. Sell when you can. You are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy. Love him. Take his offer. Foul is most foul, being foul to be a scoffer. So take her to thee, shepherd. Fare you well.
Sweet youth, I pray you, chide a year together. I had rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He is fallen in love with your foulness, and she'll fall in love with my anger. Why look you so upon me?
For no ill will I bear you.
I pray you, do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than the vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not.
That shepherd, now I find thyself might, whoever sought that loved not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe.
Ha! What sayest thou, Sylvius?
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Sylvius.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you'd a sorrow at my grief and love, by giving love your sorrow and my grief were both extermined.
Thou hast my love. Is not that neighborly?
I would have you.
Why? Now that were covetousness. Sylvius, the time was that I hated thee, and yet 'tis not that I bear thee love, but since that thou canst talk of love so well, thy company which erst was irksome to me, I will endure, and I'll employ thee too. But do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
So holy and so perfect is my love, and I in such a poverty of grace shall think it a most plenteous crop to glean after the broken years of the man, that the main harvest reaps lose now a scattered smile, and that I'll live upon.
Knowest now the youth that spoke to me a while?
Not very well, but I met him oft, and he had bought the cotters and the bounds that the old harlot was once master of.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy, yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when he that speaks them pleases those that hear. 'Tis a pretty youth, not very pretty, but sure he's proud, and yet his pride becomes him. He'll make a proper man. The best thing in him is his complexion, and faster than his tongue did make offenses, I did heal it up. He is not very tall, but for his years he's tall. His leg is but so, and yet is well. There was a pretty redness in his lip, a little riper and more lusty red than that mixed in his cheek. 'Twas just the difference between the constant red and mingled damask. There be some women, Sylvius, had they marked him in parcels as I did, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet, I have more cause to hate him than to love him. For what had he to do to chide at me? He said mine eyes were black, and my hair black, and now I am remembered, scorned at me. I marvel I answered not again. But that's all one, omittance is no quittance. I write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it, wilt thou, Sylvius?
Fight, mate, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter's in my head and in my heart. I will be bitter with him and passing short. Go with me, Sylvius.
I prithee, pretty youth, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those
I can suck melancholy out of a song like weasel sucks eggs.
Those that are in extremity of either are abominable fellows, and betray themselves with every modern censure worse than drunkards.
Why, it's good to be sad and say nothing.
Why, it is then good to be a post.
It is a melancholy of mine own, in which my often rumination wraps me, a most humorous sadness.
Oh, traveler, by my faith, you have great reason to be sad.
Yes, I've gained my experience.
An experience to make you sad? I'd rather have a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad, and to travel for it too.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay, then God be with you. And you, talking blank verse.
Fare you well, Monsieur Traveler. Why? How now, Orlando? You a lover?
Pardon me, dear Rosalind. I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love. He that will divide a minute into 1,000 parts and break but a part of 1,000 in parts into a minute, but I'll warrant him heart whole.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy, come no more in my sight. I'd as lief be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail. For though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. A better jointure, I think, than you make a woman.
What's that?
Why, horns.
A virtue is no horn maker. And my Rosalind is virtuous.
And I am your Rosalind.
It pleases him to call you so. He hath a Rosalind of a better leer than you.
And I were your very, very Rosalind, what would you say to me now?
I would kiss before I spoke.
No, you better speak first, for when you're gravelled with lack of matter, then you might take occasion to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you to entreaty, and there begins a new matter.
But who could be out before his beloved mistress?
That should you if I were your mistress, or I should think my honesty ranker than my wit.
What of my suit?
Not out of your apparel, yet out of your suit. Am not I your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say you are, because I would be talking of her.
Well then, in her person I say I will not have you.
Then in mine own person I die. I would not have this right of mine, Rosalind. For I must say, her frown might just kill me.
By this hand it won't kill a fly. But come now, I'll be your Rosalind in a more coming-on disposition. Ask me what you want, and I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Aye, I will, Fridays and Saturdays and all.
What sayest thou?
Aye, 20 such. Are you not good?
I hope so.
Then, can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister. Marry us, be the priest. Give me your hand, Orlando. Now, what would you say, sister?
Pray thee, marry us.
I cannot speak the words.
You must say, will you, Orlando?
That's right. Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
I when?
As fast as she can marry us.
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
And I take thee, Orlando, for my husband. Now tell me, how long would you have her after you have possessed her?
Forever and a day.
Say a day without the ever, Orlando. No. Men are April when they woo and December when they wed. Wives are maids when they're maids, and the sky changes when they're wives.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise.
Then she would have not had the wit to do this.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave thee.
Orlando, I cannot lack thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. But by 2 o'clock, I will be with thee again.
Aye, go your ways. That flattering tongue of yours has won me. So 2 o'clock is your hour?
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By my troth and in good earnest, if you break 1 jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think of you as the most pathetic break promise, the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her you call your Rosalind. Therefore, keep your promise.
With no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. So I do.
You have simply misused our sex in your love prate. We must have your doublet and hose plucked over your shoulder and show the world what the bird had done to her own nest.
Oh, Cuss, pretty little Cuss, didst that know how many fathom deep in love I am? Ailey and I cannot live out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and sigh till he come.
And I'll sleep.
How say you now? Is it not past 2 o'clock and here much Orlando?
Oh, I warrant you, with pure love and troubled brain. He hath taken his bow and arrows and is gone for to sleep. Look, who comes here?
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle fae bid me to give you this. I know not the contents, but it bears an angry tenor, pardon me. I'm but as guiltless as a messenger.
She says I'm not fair, and that I lack manners. She says I'm proud, and that she could not love me. Why writes she so to me? Well, shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own device.
No, I protest. Phoebe did write of it.
I say she did not. This is a man's invention, and his hand.
Sure it is hers. So please you, for I never heard it yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
She Phoebes me.
I thought God the shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart had bent.
Can a woman rail thus?
Why thy God had laid apart, warst thou with a woman's heart?
Did you ever hear such a railing?
Whilst the eye of man did woo me, that could do no vengeance to me.
Meaning me a beast?
If the scorn of your bright eye have power to raise such love in mine, whilst you chide me, I did love, how then might your prayers move?
Of me and all that I can make, or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die.
Call you this chiding?
Alas, poor shepherd.
Do not pity him, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? If she love me, I charge her to love thee. If she will not, I will not have her. And if you are a true lover, hence and not a word.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know where in this forest stands a sheepcote fenced about with olive trees.
West of this place, but at this hour the house doth keep itself. There's none within.
If that an eye may profit by a tongue, then should I know you by description? Are you not the owner of the house I did inquire for?
We are.
Orlando to that youth he calls his Rosalind. He sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am, but what must we understand by this?
Some of my shame. If you will know of me, what man I am, and how, and why, and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again within an hour. And pacing through the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter fancy. Lo, what befell? He threw his eye aside and marked what object did present itself under an oak. A wretched, ragged man lay sleeping on his back, under which bush's shade a lioness, with udders all drawn dry, lay couching, head on ground, with cat-like watch. For when the sleeping man should stir, for this the royal disposition of that beast, to prey on nothing that doth seem as dead, this seen Orlando did approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of that same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
And well he might so do, for well I know, he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave him their food to the hungry lioness?
Twice did he turn his back and purpose so. But kindness, nobler ever than revenge, and nature, stronger than his just occasion, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which hurtling from miserable slumber, I awaked.
Are you his brother?
Was you he rescued?
Was you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I. But this I do not shame to tell you what I was, since my conversion so sweetly tastes, being the thing I am.
But for the bloody napkin?
By and by, when from first to last betwixt us two, tears our recountenance had most kindly bathed, and how I came into that desert place in brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh array and entertainment, committing me unto my brother's love, who led me instantly unto his cave, and there stripped himself, and here upon the arm the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled, and now he fainted and cried in fainting upon Rosalind. Brief I did recover him, bound up his wound, and after some small space, being strong at heart, he sent me hither. Strange as I am to tell you the story, that you might excuse his broken promise, and give this napkin, dyed in his blood, unto that shepherd youth, that he in sport doth call his Rosalind.
Why? How now, Ganymede, sweet Ganymede?
Many will swoon when they do look on blood.
There is more in it.
Look, he recovers.
I would I were at home.
I will lead you thither. I pray you, sir, will you take him by the arm?
Be of good cheer, youth. You a man, you lack a man's heart.
In faith I do. I should have been a woman by right.
Come, you look paler and paler. Draw homewards. Good sir, go with us.
That will I, for I must be answer back how you excuse my brother, Rosalind.
I shall devise something, but I pray you commend my counterfeiting to him. Will you go?
Patience, gentle Audrey. We shall find a time, Audrey.
Faith, the priest was good enough for all the old gentleman saying?
A most wicked Sir Olive, Audrey. A most vile text. But, Audrey, there's a gentleman in the forest that lays claim to you.
I know who it is. He hath no interest in me in all the world.
Our master and mistress seeks you. Come away, away.
Trip, Audrey. I attend.
Is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should love her?
Oh, I love Eliana. And she loves me. Consent with both, that we may enjoy each other. It shall be to your good, for my father's house and all the revenue that was of old Sir Rowland's will I state upon you, and here live and die a shepherd.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. Thither will I invite the Duke and all of its contented followers. Go you and prepare Eliana. Oh, for look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
It is my arm.
I thought thy heart had been wounded by the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited a swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
And greater wonders than that.
Your brother and my sister no sooner met, but they looked. No sooner looked, but they loved. Now they've made a pair of stairs to marriage.
They shall be married tomorrow. But oh, how bitter it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes.
Why can I not serve your turn for Rosalind?
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you then no longer with idle talking. Believe me, if you please, when I say I can do strange things. If you do love Rosalind so near as your heart, as your gesture cries it out, when you shall be married tomorrow, when your brother marries Eliana.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life I do, which I tender dearly, though I say I'm a magician. Therefore, put you in your best array, bid your friends, for you shall be married tomorrow, and to Rosalind you will.
Youth, you have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I write to you.
I care not if I have. You are followed there by a faithful shepherd. Take his love.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
'Tis all to be made of sighs and tears, and so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
'Tis all to be made of faith and service, and so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is all to be made of passion and wishes, and so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love ya?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor doth not here.
I would help you if I could, and I would love you if I could, and I would marry you if I ever marry a woman, but I shall be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if ever I satisfied a man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will please you if what contents you pleases you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet. As you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. I've left you commands, fare you well.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he hath promised?
I sometimes do believe, and sometimes do not, and hope that they fear, and hope that they do not.
Patience once more. whilst our compact is urged. You say if I bring in Rosalind, you will bestow her on Orlando here.
That would I, had I kingdoms to give with her.
And you say if I bring her, you will have her.
That would I, if I were king of all kingdoms.
And you say you'll marry me if I be willing.
That will I, should I die the hour after.
And if you refuse me, you shall wed this faithful shepherd.
So is the bargain.
Shepherd, you will marry Phoebe if she refuses me.
Though to have her and death were one same thing.
Thus all matters are even. Keep you your word, O Duke, to give your daughter. Keep you your word, Orlando, to receive his daughter. Keep you your word, Phoebe, to marry me. But if you refuse, to marry this faithful shepherd. Keep you your word, Silvius, to marry Phoebe if she refuse me. Thus all doubts are even.
Tomorrow is the joyful day, Audrey. Tomorrow will we be married.
I do desire with all my heart, and I hope it is no dishonest desire to be a woman of the world. Here come two of the banished Duke's pages.
Well met, honest gentlemen.
By my troth, well met. Come, sit, and a song.
We offer you, sir. Sit in the middle. Shall we clap into it roundly without spitting or hawking or saying we are whores, which are the only prologues to a bad voice? In faith and both in a tune, like two gypsies on a horse. In all the land there lies no beauty greater than that of eternal joy. Under the mountains and over the seas, I see all that is clear and bright. La 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 la. Between the leaves there shines a light, shimmering through like eternal light. Forest of Ardan captures the soul, nurtures the unfortunate foes to the world. La 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 la.
Here comes a pair of very strange beasts, in which all tongues are called fools.
Salutation and greetings to you all.
Good, my lord, bid him welcome. He hath been a courtier, he swears.
If any man doubt that, let him put me to my purgation. I have trod a measure, flattered a lady, been politic with my friend, and smooth with mine enemy. I have undone 3 tailors, have had 4 quarrels, and like to have fought one.
And how was that taken up?
Faith, we met and found that the trouble was upon the 7th cause.
How the 7th cause? Good, my lord, like this fellow.
I like him very well.
God ill you, sir. I desire you of the like. As marriage binds and blood breaks, sir. A poor virgin, sir. An ill-favored thing, but mine own. And a poor humor of mine, sir. To take that no man else will.
How the 7th cause? How did you find the quarrel on the 7th cause?
Upon a lie 7 times removed, bear your body more seeming, Audrey. As thus, sir. I did dislike the cut of a certain courtier's beard. Now he sent me word, if I said the beard was not cut well, he was in the mind it was. This is called retort courteous. If I sent him word again, the beard was not cut well, he would say he cut it to please himself. This is called quip modest. If I sent him word again, the beard was not well cut, he disabled my judgment. This is called reply churlish. If I sent him word again, the beard was not well cut. He say I spoke not true. If I sent him word again, the beard was not well cut, he would say I lied. And then, this is called countercheck quarrelsome. And so to the lie circumstantial and lie direct.
And how oft did you say his beard was not well cut?
Oh, I does go no further than the lie circumstantial. Now he does not give me the lie direct. And so we measured swords and parted.
Is this not a rare fellow, my lord? He is as good anything, and yet a fool.
He uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that, he shoots his wit.
Then is there mirth in heaven, when earthly things made even atone together. Good Duke, receive thy daughter. Hymen from heaven brought her. He brought her hither, that thou mightst join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. And to you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then, my love, adieu.
I'll have no father if you be not he, and I'll have no husband if you be not he, nor never wed woman if you be not she.
O my dear niece, welcome thou art to me. Even daughter, welcome in no less degree.
I will not eat my word. Now thou art mine. Thy fate, my fancy, to thee doth combine.
Let me have an audience for a word or two. For I am the youngest son of old Sir Rowland, that bring these tidings to this fair assembly. Duke Frederick, hearing that how men of great worth resorted to this forest, and to the skirts of the wild woods he came, his crown bequeathing to his banished brother, and all their lands restored to them again that were with him exiled. This to be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome, young man. Thou offerest fairly to thy brother's wedding.
Sir, by your patience, if I heard you rightly, the Duke hath put on a religious life and thrown into neglect the pompous court?
He hath.
To him will I. Out of these connotites, there is much matter to be heard and learned. You, to your former honor I bequeath, your patience and virtue well deserves it. You to a love that faith doth merit, and you to your love, your land, all your allies, and you to a long and well-deserved bed, and you to wrangling thy loving voyage but 2 months victualled. So for your pleasures, I'm other than dancing measures.
Stay, Jacques, stay.
I'll stay at your abandoned cave to know.
Here's 8 that must take hands to join in Hymen's bands, if truth holds true content. You and you no cross shall part. You and you are heart in heart. You to his love must accord, or have a woman to your lord. You and you are sure together, as the winter to foul weather. And whiles a wedlock hymn we sing, feed yourselves with questioning, that reason wonder may diminish, how thus we met and these things finish. Merry souls across the ocean find solace in unsullied amor. For today's the day that the stars in the sky will wield a beautiful creation. Day and night into the brighter, go up
Can we have our beloved director on stage? Arjun, don't leave us hanging here.
Arjun!
Okay, this is just more than overwhelming. Wow. First off, I would like to thank the university for giving us the opportunity to start this wonderful course which is offered nowhere in India but only Christ University. And I would like to thank Father Thomas C. Matthew, our Vice Chancellor, who has seen the vision and provided us with everything at every point we needed. Further, I would like to thank Father Verghese, our CFO, who provided us with all the funds for the production. And then I would like to thank Rajan sir, Joshi sir and his team for the wonderful technical, you get the point. Also, I would like to thank Keshav ji and all his men for the backstage support. And yes, I would like all the first years TCs to be on stage because to them we owe it all. They have helped us a lot. And also the second year CPs who were here yesterday, right from morning to night, although they had very little part to play, but thank you so much, guys. And thank you for this wonderful show. And yeah, I was saving the best for the last, and I know she was gonna kill me after this, but I would like to call our HOD Esther Yates on stage, who has held our hand and taken us on this wonderful journey. Ma'am, please. Can we hear it for Ms. Esther Yates, HOD of Theatre Studies?
Have helped them, but more than anything else, I really do want to say that I did not have really anything to do with this at all, except to just, as Arjun put it, hold their hands and help them through. Arjun, thank you. Where are you? Oh, right. Thank you not for calling me on stage. I told you not to do that, but anyway. Thank you for this, the trust that I invested in you. You have justified it. And thank you, entire cast. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, first years, second years, and the CEPs. And most of all, thank you, Jagdish, for coming and being the chief guest. Thank you for all of your help. Okay? And I guess that's it. Is there anything else? Yeah. Would you like to say a few words, Jagdish?
All I can say is thank you for a delightful afternoon. Thank you. And you know, we keep stressing this when we do theatre, is that nothing builds teamwork like theatre does. And this is, I think, an example, an exemplary demonstration of what teamwork can achieve. Thank you, all of you up there in the light box, backstage, everybody. You've all done your little bit to make this the afternoon it has been. And of course, the steward of all of this, Arjun, my congratulations.
And of course, thank you, audience. And of course, thank you, Father Pro VC, for being here, and Father Varghese and Mrs. Suparna Kaur. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.